What's up, YouTube? Shawn the Gamer here, and I'm kind of in this video going to repeat myself on something I said a couple of months ago, I believe, or maybe just a few weeks ago, where I said when we first started talking about the brand split, where NXT and the brand split can introduce like a more realistic draft. So let me elaborate on that a little bit more since we are having the brand split. So with this brand split, in the last video, I kind of went through what they should do with titles now. In this video, we're going to do with a draft, because there is going to be a draft. The first one is going to be June 19th, I believe, or June 16th, one of those. June 19th, before SummerSlam. So it's going to lead to another video, but whatever. With the draft, you can not actually have like, oh, we from Raw draft whatchamacallit from SmackDown or from SmackDown Raw. No, those we're going to call trades. We're going to trade. We want to propose this trade to them. But the actual draft is going to come with NXT. So with NXT, this is where you start sending all of your new talent, developing talent, the PC guys and girls. You know, the PC is the Performance Center guys and girls where they go to train. You start going from there, and NXT is what it is. You know, it's a territory pretty much. Their third brand, their developmental, even though it's not really developmental anymore. That's what the PC is. So the draft can actually be a draft like, hey, we from SmackDown draft from NXT, what's her name? Peyton Royce or Alexa Bliss or Murphy or Blake. You see where I'm going. Tag teams. We draft the American Alphas and things like that. It's gonna be a special episode of Raw, and you can do like the whole, or it can even be a network special now. It can be like the draft, the network special. So I think that's a good idea. A network special draft. You have matches in SmackDown versus Raw to see who gets draft picks. Make it like 5. Make it like 6 or 8 matches, 4 and 4. Initial draft picks. If SmackDown wins, they can either trade or get a draft, and then things like, it's so many possibilities with like an actual draft, and I just think it'll be like really cool. Because think about like the Hall of Fame, where you have all the superstars sitting there for like this serious event, but just think about it in a draft type format. You just have all these like young guys just waiting to be called up to a main traveling roster, and it could just be a real cool. Like I said, I've talked about this before, but I just think it bears repeating now that the brand split is real and it's happening. And people have been talking about, when I say people, I mean other YouTubers, have been talking about maybe Raw or SmackDown being like a place to showcase more NXT talent, which is also a good idea. So like have NXT connected to one of the shows. So like this is the NXT showcase match of the week or something like that. I think that's a good idea. But I just like the idea of a draft, an actual draft, like a scenario better. Just having all the superstars in one place, having the representatives, Shane, Stephanie, Shane, Stephanie. I like Shane, Stephanie. That's the same person though, the brother and sister, different. So it's like have Shane come out for whatever brand he's representing, Stephanie come out for whatever brand, and then like even in the draft, like you can have the World Heavyweight Champion say we of SmackDown. You know what I'm saying. Just make it feel real. Add a little bit more intensity to this, and make it seem more important. Like, oh my gosh, this is becoming a legit thing, and people start seeing these things. It can even be on ESPN. You can even have it on ESPN if you can get time, like an hour and a half. Like, have the first hour show on ESPN, and then switch over to the network to see the rest of this. So it's just a lot of ideas. I just think an actual draft involving NXT will bring a lot more buzz to NXT. It's like, oh, this is where this guy comes from. This is where this guy comes from. And if they start putting more emphasis, like they have been on the independent circuit, people traveling all over the world. They always mention Japan. They have hardly mentioned TNA, Ring of Honor, and things like that sometimes. So it just brings more realism. And you can have, like I said, with this new connection that NXT is building, you can also have people from other organizations come in like, hey, you were invited to the draft. Maybe have like 10 people from Ring of Honor, 10 people from New Japan. Not saying they're all gonna make it, but have them there, like representatives from New Japan, representatives from Ring of Honor. Can do TNA, Evolve, somebody they're also working with, all their affiliations. They can also be there. It just makes it feel more real. Bring wrestling more closer together. Because if WWE is kind of like, well, if WWE is like the NBA of wrestling, it will make more sense when you have a draft to have other people coming in, because that's what it is. Like think of Ring of Honor, TNA, New Japan as colleges, and they're coming in to try to get, a draft spot. It just brings more realism to it. So that's just my couple of thoughts. If you have anything else on this, I'm trying to think of any other ways you can make this more realistic. Like you said, bring in other promotions for the draft. Have it heavily involve NXT. Make it a network special. Have the first hour play on like ESPN or USA or whatever network. Just have it play on TV for the first hour, and then like to have next 2 hours, hour and a half be a network exclusive. So that's just my idea. I just think something like a draft, the week, like the day after WrestleMania or a couple of days after WrestleMania, would just do wonders for the company. It can even be like at noon the day after WrestleMania. So like, okay, we have WrestleMania and then a hard reset on the network for the draft. So I just think that's a good idea. Or it doesn't even have to be after WrestleMania. It can even be before WrestleMania. It can be like after or before the Royal Rumble. At the beginning of the... No, it just makes more sense because if WrestleMania is like your Super Bowl or NBA Finals, then you have to do the draft after WrestleMania. But it can't... Maybe like a week after... I don't know. We'll worry about the timelines later. But there has to be a draft after WrestleMania. Involve everybody in the world. Make the WWE seem like it's a juggernaut of a promotion by having this draft, and you're inviting all these different promotions from around the world to have their superstars potentially get drafted. So that's just my idea. If you have any ideas, comment down below. Let me know. If you want to follow me on anything other than YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch, all linked in the description down below. Share the video with your friends so they can put their input in as well, and subscribe if you have not already, and like just to show some support. Woo! With all of that being said, I am Shawn the Gamer, and I